Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Premier Division show. Mainly looking at the review of the games last Friday, quick predictions for the games of the weekend as well, and a very quick word on the teams going into Europe. I'll be vlogging Shamrock Rovers game in Europe as well this week, and the Pats second leg the following week. So looking forward to those vlogs. Should be vlogging Shelbourne and Bowes on Friday. Not confirmed yet, but should be doing that league match as well, just to throw that out there. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please hit your subscribe button as well. It would mean a lot. Thanks very much. We'll start off at Daleyman Park. Why not? We'll start off with a humdinger. I finished Bohemians 3, Dundalk 2. And this win for Bowes means that they're a point behind Dundalk with 2 games in hand. One of their games in hand is this weekend. So in true Bowes fashion, they'll lose that one 4-0. But seriously though, yeah, look, fantastic game. This one, young McManus gave Bowles the lead after 15 minutes with a tidy finish. He's been looked at by championship clubs in England and other clubs as well, so I'm not surprised there. But a very good young player is James McManus. He's 18 as well, so he can be signed up if you're wondering as well. And Coco at 24 pulled one back for Dundalk. Mali gave them the lead on 37 minutes to give them a 2-1 lead at half time at Daleyman. And at that point, you're probably thinking Dundalk go on and win the game. But the last time Bowes played at Daleyman, there was drama, so more drama in this one. But they were 2-1 down with 8 minutes to go. John O'Sullivan finished at the back post to give them a 2-1 to make it 2-2, sorry. And Afalabi scores the winner with 5 minutes to go with a tidy finish after put through brilliantly by James Clark to make it 3-2. Dundalk were very high up the pitch. They were really going for the win, but it's strange because although I admire that, if Dundalk came away with a point at Daleyman, it wouldn't have been too bad looking at the league table as well. So they really left themselves open there, actually. But but a brilliant win for Bohemians at Daleyman Park, and the way they came back into the game. John O'Sullivan, I don't think, has scored for the club. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bowles fans, but Afalabi is really getting amongst the goals now. I think he was playing quite well, wasn't really scoring. But now that he's scoring, it really makes a difference, doesn't it? I think that's 3 games in a row now he scored. Afalabi actually as well. So a couple of games of Daleyman he certainly scored in. So yeah, he scored up in Sligo on that defeat as well. So yeah, but Dundalk will be disappointed with that. As I said, they left themselves wide open. And as I said, it's brave to be going to try and get the winner. But at the same time, you're thinking they don't have to sit back completely and defend, but they left themselves wide open. And Bowles exploited the space. James Clark ran at the defence, played a lovely ball through to Afalabi. He'd still a lot to do, but he got in behind and he'd acres to run into. And he finishes past Shepherd to give Bohemians an excellent 3-2 win. And as I said, plus at fifth of the table, a point behind Dundalk with 2 games in hand. I get the feeling they won't win the 2 games in hand, but they should certainly be looking to win the one against UCD. Dundalk still in a decent position, but will be disappointed with the result, obviously. So Bowes 3, Dundalk 2. At the brand new L then, it finished Derry City 2, Sligo 1, McGonigal on 13 minutes, Lafferty against the former club in 41. And Patchin with a late penalty, very, very late penalty, after Ben Doherty missed, in fact, a late penalty to give Derry City the 3 points. Ben Doherty quite a few shots in this game, actually. Obviously confident after that strike he scored against Shelbourne not so long ago, which was a brilliant strike. But yeah, you would have thought when that penalty was missed by Doherty that they blew it. That was in 82 minutes. Like, it wasn't a great penalty, to be fair. McNicholas saves. He does well to save the rebound, actually. I thought the rebound save was a very good save by McNicholas, to be fair. But Derry, in the end, grinded this one out. They really needed to get the win, and they did, and they grinded it out. And they'd be delighted because Michael Duffy was back in the side, and obviously Patchin came on and looked decent as well. So having them two players, I suppose, back to the side, because they've been struggling to break down the opposition defence, haven't they? And create chances. And Duffy was very lively in this particular game. He did very well actually for the first goal to poke it through. Kavanagh picks it up in kind of a number 10 position. I think that's the best position, but he rarely gets a chance to play in that position as such. And he plays a lovely ball, good movement by McGonigal. To McGonigal finishes smartly. McGonigal now will have pressure from, obviously he's already Kavanagh there, who actually won one of the penalties. Was the patching penalty he actually won as well. And McMullen, who's signed for the club as well. So he's going to come under pressure, McGonigal. So you never know. McMullen signing could actually get the best out of the likes of McGonigal, which I'm sure Derry wouldn't mind either. Lafferty equalised with a very good strike after Derry got themselves in a bit of a mess down that side of the other side of the pitch and the right hand side of the pitch. Moorhan does very well, gets the ball through to Lafferty, a lot of space to run into. And he did finish it well, to be fair. Taking one on. Sligo probably thought they were going to get a point. Late on as well, Mata, corner kick. Not an easy chance, but his header just goes over. Certainly a chance. So Sligo will be disappointed to not pick up anything from the game, but will be relatively pleased with the performance compared to in general in recent weeks. Both side performance aside. Oh God, excuse me, I'm very tired, guys. But Derry, very, very important win, especially with the other results that we'll get on to later on. Drogheda 0, Shamrock Rovers 0, at Weavers Park, and this was an excellent result, obviously, for Drogheda. Rovers still missing some key players, and you get the feeling they've one eye. This is why I thought Drogheda could get a result on the game against the game in the Champions League qualifier. But yeah, I mean, look, they still a strong team out, but Nugent, Noonan, you wouldn't say a first team players or Kavanagh these days, that kind of way. So, be interesting to see if the likes of Jack Byrne, Grace, Ferrugia. I don't think Clark will be available. To be honest, he won't. And O'Neill will be back for the European game. But tried to be pleased with a point. Adibiyega actually had a good chance with a header. Actually, he should score, in my opinion. He's in a great position and he should probably score, but he did have a good game defensively, to be fair. And so it's an important point for Drogheda to pick up the point. With Cork, obviously, we'll talk about that in a minute and getting something. And there's just a point behind Sligo, Drogheda as well. So Drogheda, a good team effort, didn't give Rovers too many opportunities in the game. Wogan, who's playing in goal, the 17-year-old, been quite impressed with him in what I've seen. Very composed for a 17-year-old goalkeeper, very composed. Doesn't make many mistakes. I know he kind of dropped the shot in this game a bit, but that can happen. But doesn't make too many mistakes. Looks very, very composed for his age. Very impressed with him so far. His positioning is very good as well. So, yeah, I mean, Drogheda to be delighted, I think, picking up a point. Rovers probably won't be as such, but they're still 4 points clear at the top of the table. I suppose to be more happy with what happened with one of the results elsewhere. So it'll be interesting now to see how they get on in Europe. As I said, I'm vlogging that match on Tuesday, and looking forward to that. I would be very interested to see what their team selection is, and if any of those players that weren't even on the bench make it. Are they being wrapped in cotton wool? Are they just out? We'll see. On to St. Patrick's Athletic and Cork, and Pats will feel like this was a serious missed opportunity. Because of the Rovers result and the fact that Pats were 1-0 up going into injury time against Cork City. It seemed like a bit of complacency. I watched this one back. It seemed like a bit of complacency got into Pat's game. Mulroney, look, it's a great strike in 39 minutes, his 6th goal of the season. I think they've all been bangers. He certainly can do that. Fantastic goal. Forrester plays it through on the right, and look, he cuts inside, fakes a shot, curls it with power, with a bit of venom on it into the corner, and past the Cork goalkeeper, which was actually their new signing. He played in goal actually, Brooks, but he was taken off after 55 minutes, and Jimmy Corcoran came on when he was injured. So that was interesting for Cork, though. I have to say, Kostovic was very impressive this game. He played as a right back, and he was very impressive. As was Keishin at times as well. We'll get on to him in a minute. But Pats will be disappointed. They have some opportunities in the game to put it to bed, and there was a sense in the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes that Cork could score without creating anything brilliant. They'd one bit of a chance with Keating, but you just sensed it that they could score, and a bit of complacency setting in a Pats there. Norman came on and made his debut at right back, which was curious because he's very much left footed. And in my opinion, Sam Curtis, he's a very good centre back and actually a good game overall. I think he offers Pats a lot more right back. He's more beneficial to Pats at right back. So you're taking him out of that. Interesting that Adam Murphy hasn't been starting lately. Midfield, because I thought him, Forrester, and Lennon had a good connection there. And whereas Carty worked his socks off up front, he doesn't look like a massive threat in front of goal, despite actually having a decent chance there in the second half, which was, did it hit the post or the keeper get a save? I can't remember. The keeper might have just touched it away, but works his socks off. Don't get me wrong. But doesn't look like he'll score too many goals. At times, though, as well, to be fair, some of the balls played up for him weren't great in this game either. So Pats played within themselves mainly in that second half and paid the price. Cork were delighted with the point, and it was a brilliant goal from Rory Keating's point of view. Bad defending from Pats. Might have been a foul on Norman, maybe, but they failed to deal with the second ball. They should have dealt with the second ball. Ping pongs around, and instinctively Keating gets it, sniffs the opportunity. It's a brilliant finish past Linus actually, into the far corner. And I suppose Pats in the game for that reason kind of got what they asked for in many ways. It felt like they were going more defensive as well, but they'll be disappointed with that. Pats was a real opportunity for them. Cork will be delighted with themselves because okay, they're ninth, but they would have taken that at the start of the game. And when you're 1-0 down away to Pats in the last minute and you're ninth in the league, you're taking a point all day. So it keeps them in touch with Drogheda and Sligo. And Kustovic was very impressive in this game, as I said, and Keating, always a handful, always a handful. UCD nil, Shelbourne 4, and it's been a bad, you'd have to say, week or so for UCD. Obviously, conceded 7 against Pats, and they're 4 in this game. Is 0-0 up to the 45th minute, though. It took a while for Shelbourne to get the breakthrough, but they did through Jack Moylan. He's 7th of the season. He's 7th of the season as well, and it was a lovely flick over the goal, the incoming even goalkeeper. Paddy Barrett actually picked up the ball. It's like he decided, look, I'm just going to drive at them, and he played it in and got it back, and he got into the edge of the area, had a shot with his left foot, which was saved, but Moylan was on hand instinctively and reacted well. Lunny scores a brilliant goal in the second half, 66 minutes from range. Boyd, a penalty in 79 minutes as well, which probably was a penalty, to be fair. UCD were very high, and Jack Moylan ran through and tried to round the keeper. It looked like it was fouled. And J.R. Wilson scored in the last seconds, really, to make it 4-0 for Shelbourne. It's an important win for Shelbourne as they got the Bows next week, 4 points behind in the table. So a very important win for Shelbourne. And, again, they can get into the European race if they beat Bows. Will they? Will they not? It's hard to know, but it'd be interesting to see what happens there. But as for UCD, 9 points all season, 9 points all season. Cork on 23 points. I think, it's possible even subconsciously they might be losing the head a little bit in that sense. And the last couple of weeks have been poor for them. And, I won't even say you'd worry for them, because I think that's the point. They know they're gone. I mean, no matter what Andy Myler says to them, it's very difficult to try and convince them where they are on the table that they can get out of it. And it just puts them in a very, very difficult situation overall, I think, to be honest with you. But yeah, on to Friday's games quickly, and Saturdays, I'm going to give my predictions here. Shelbourne and Bowls, hoping to be at that one to vlog. I think it'll be a draw. Believe it or not, they don't draw too many games at Tolka, to be fair. Earlier on in the season, Shelbourne beat them 1-0 actually. They did draw Dalymount though, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. UCD and Drogheda, it's a must win for Drogheda, isn't it? It really is. But there'll be pressure on them coming into the game, knowing the fact that UCD were hammered 7-4 the last 2 games, knowing that they're at the foot of the table and 9 points with 2 wins all season. They did beat Sligo there a couple of weeks ago, remember, as well, UCD. So the pressure is on Drogheda going into this game. And, if you're Drogheda, you're taking, even if it's a 1-0, it doesn't matter, it's 3 points. Take advantage of Cork and maybe Sligo slipping up, or even if they don't slip up, And I do think it might be tight, though. I do think Drogheda will nick it, though, 2-1. And then on Saturday, the other game is Sligo and Cork, and big game, isn't it? It really is a big game, because it's an opportunity for Sligo actually to put a bit of daylight as such at the showgrounds. Certainly at the Cork, regardless of what Drogheda do, really. They've an opportunity to go 6 points out of Cork City with a win. Um, Cork will hope to bring some of what they did against Pats on Friday and a bit more maybe into this game. And, you know, I, I get the feeling Cork won't be too disappointed with a point, but I think Sligo will see it as a great opportunity to go 6 points above them. I have a feeling Sligo might pinch this one. I'm going to go for Sligo to win 2-1. Yeah, obviously the European games. I'm not going to say much about them in terms of predictions or anything like that because they're very difficult to judge. They're very difficult to judge. As I said, I will be vlogging the Shamrock Rovers game tomorrow night, from Tallaght Stadium. So I'm hoping to, hopefully they can get a good lead going into the next leg. To be honest, or even a lead going into the second leg. So hopefully they can do that. And as I said, when they reviewed their game, be interested to see what players actually come back into it. Pat's got to do the launch in Luxembourg, team that played Bowles a couple of years ago. And Bowles knocked them out, but they're a completely different team now. And from what I'm hearing, they're a better side than they were that time. So if Pats can come back with a worse than narrow defeat, it'll make it interesting at Richmond Park. So they're going to have to defend well. We know that, and hopefully hit them on the counter. Hopefully can get something out of the game, but it's a difficult tie. Dundalk then got the Magpies in Gibraltar, and I expect Dundalk over the 2 legs to get through. Again, hopefully they get a result over there. They should be looking to win it, to be honest. You know. And of course Derry go to the Faroes take on Torshaven, which won't be an easy game either. Torshaven won't be an easy game either. But again, Duffy back now and patching back and that, and you're looking for Derry and you're saying good chance to go through. I'd expect 3 out of 4 teams to go through anyway, to be honest with you. That's what I'd expect. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully they all go through, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But it'll be interesting to see. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Anything regarding the games last weekend, maybe predictions this weekend, the European ties. Are you going to any of the games in Europe? Especially the trips away from home. Subscribe to the channel once again and have a good evening, guys. See you later. Bye bye.